Hi. I hope everybody's doing well today. My name is Jennifer Rose, and I am a spirituality coach. I am here to help people find their spirit within them. This week, we have been working on, for all of you that are new, is my 5 simple habits. Monday, we checked on our gratitude practice. Yesterday was self-care, and today is grounding. And in my previous video, we went over the fundamentals of grounding, active and inner, and how to ground. And if you want to go on my YouTube channel and check that out, I have 2 videos referencing grounding. One is the full video, and the second is just the grounding exercise that I did towards the end of the video. But I thought if somebody wanted to go back and do that at a later date, if they got something different, you could say that my grounding exercise was kind of a vision quest. So go check those out if you're interested. But today for grounding, what grounding has to do with is time. And now today's lesson is more philosophical. What is time? We have our watch and we say, okay, it's 6:31. But time itself for us, if we had no phones, no watches, we would have no idea if it was 12:07, 3:05, 7:09. We would not know that because time is only a reference to what's happening in the sky. It's in the morning or it's at night. Those are the 2 times of the day we can definitely tell what time of day it is. But what is time when referencing grounding? The most important time that we have is now. Right now, as I am talking to you in this video and you're listening to me, we are grounded in now. We are having a period of time that stops and you're listening to me. But any moment of part of the day, you're not always in now. I'll bring up the time reference is when you're driving home and the last 5 minutes, you can't remember. All of a sudden, you're putting into the driveway. You're like, wow, how did I get home? Almost like you were on automatic pilot. Time was lost and those 5 minutes going home. Or let's reference something that you're doing something you absolutely love. Maybe it's a wonderful conversation. Maybe you're on vacation. You're doing your music, you're doing your art, and you're just getting lost in it. You're just loving time. And in that time, it seems like it's been 15 minutes, but it's actually been 4 hours. Time for you was irrelevant. You were lost in the sauce, lost in your creative energy. And then there is time where we feel like it's dragging by. Maybe we had a teacher way back when that talked in a monotone, and it seemed like, even though the class was an hour, it seemed like it was 5 hours. Like you would look at the clock and it would be, it's only been 15 minutes when it feels like in your time capsule that it's been a lot longer. Now you can see the references of how time in and of itself doesn't exist. It only exists in here or in here. We are the gatekeepers to our time. We determine where we live at any given moment and any part of the day. We choose where we spend our time and also our energy. So how does this help you? So if time is relevant, that we are the timekeepers, we are the gatekeepers for our time, What can the power of now do? So let me take you to a time, to a childhood memory. And I could take you to a good one, or I could take you to a negative one. But either way, we're going into the past. We're bringing up a childhood filled with trauma, filled with, you could probably, even in this moment, be thinking of something from your past that hurts your heart to even think about it. Now, where are you in time? Just by bringing up the past, just by talking about childhood, you are now living there in the past with that memory. And that is what people do. I think the past is there as a reference, but it is not a place. I mean, it is, if you want, that's your truth, to live in the past, in here. Because your brain, in this physical body that we live in, is constantly trying to survive. And the only reference points that your brain has is the past. And it literally will determine what your now is, and possibly what your future is, if you live in the past. If you live in your trauma, if you live in your anger and your hate and your blame for anything that happened to you in the past. And that's why you are either spending your time in the past, which you can't do anything about. And you are valid in all of your feelings and everything that's happened to you. But if you stay there, it will drown you, as it did me. If you can go look at the Rose channel on YouTube and see my story, I was drowning in my past. I was filled with fear of everything that happened. I wanted to control my now by referencing my past, by fearing the future. And that is another thing. We can go into the past, but we also are in the future. Instead of having a conversation with somebody in front of you, you're like, well, what is this going to happen? Or how is this going to work out? Or so you try to control everything and everyone in your present moment because you are filled with fear of the future. Living in the past, fearing the future. Two places where you choose to spend your time being your own gatekeeper that cannot do anything for you in the present moment. It is truly a present to live in the now. Because when you live in the now, you can have perfect. You can have perfect. If you define perfect, everybody says, well, I'm not a perfect person. Let's challenge that a little bit. Let's say, because we have the past for a reference, because you were so highly sensitive, nobody could have a conversation with you. But now that you live in the now and somebody can have a conversation, isn't that perfect? Isn't that perfect? In that moment, even though it was maybe not a greatest conversation, you were able to have it. And that's what makes it perfect. That what makes the past relevant is when it is a reference. It is not a place you live in. It is a place you go back to say that was then and this is now. This isn't happening, so I'm not worrying about the future. I'm not going there because I can't do anything about that. It is going to be what it is going to be. But I can do stuff now that can help my future. But I can't control that. I can control what's going to happen an hour from now. I can't. Time is an illusion. We are the ones in our own minds that are living the past and the future. The spirit itself only wants to live in the now. And that's why you have to balance your time. I'm on social media because I am getting my message out there. Not that it's a unique message, not that anyone else has heard what I've said before, but I am on here for a specific reason. I'm spending my time trying to find my students. People that do not respect your time and what you're trying to do are only respecting their time, which does not make them a bad person, but it's up to you where you spend your time, where you spend your energy, and what you do with the time that you have. If you are with somebody in the present moment with them, that is a gift. That is perfect. So spend time in the now, ground yourself. Go reference my videos on the inner and active grounding. Spend time in the now this week. Spend time with people and be there. Blessings to all who watch this. Spend your time wisely. It'll be perfect. Bye.